Okay. So, looks like I am actually live now. I just did the entire show. I just did an hour-long show for you for the Spiritual Weather Report. And I came to end the stream and it never started. So here we are, Akasha here. Welcome, welcome, namaste, and welcome to the Spiritual Weather Report. So we're going to dive right into what's happening right now in April. So let's take a look. And we're entering a very big month. We're entering a month. This is just weird. I just did this whole show. Woo! So we're exiting the equinox portal. And this is the Infinite Show. I am Akasha. I hope you'll join me at nanakasha.com, where we'll share lots of things with you, including when we have a live show. And if you go subscribe below, you can get notifications about when we post something new or go live. I do a lot of live shows. So this is Estrella. She's the star. She's one of our dear friends in our pod, and one of our first friends we got to play with, kiss, do third eye awakenings, and other things in our March retreat. So I hope that you'll join me either in July or December. We're going to be having a new, unique experience full of magic. Today we're going to talk about the cosmic changes that are coming, the intuitive astrology, and then I'm going to do the meditation of who am I now? So this is an important question. Make sure you check the Dolphin Healing playlist here. This particular show I did last week, I shared pictures, stories, all the magic, the insights, the activations, the spiritual downloads, and the messages from the equinox retreat. It's quite profound. And I want to just share a few vibrations so you can tune in to our beautiful friend here, Estrella, and receive your own kisses, third eye activations, even with manatees. This is me doing healing work while we're also floating in the ocean with the dolphins, get to play with them. This is from our cacao spa ceremony. This is an iguana that came, very powerful, incredible story. This is the kind of magic that happens. It depends on you if you decide to come. When you decide to come, you get into a flow where we're connected. You start to structure the magic that will unfold. We don't know what will happen. I didn't know I was going to be given a jaguar skull to hold the download and take me to an entirely new level of vision. I didn't know that after this is at Tulum, this is an ancient Mayan site on the cliff. I led the equinox morning activation, and we worked with the elementals. We worked with the wind, the ocean pounding the cliff right there below us, the temple behind us, the waters beneath us, the ancient spirits, the Maya, and all kinds of things that had happened. When it was over, we were sitting there. This iguana came up onto the edge of the cliff and just sat there for quite a long time. So we sat, looked at her, talked to her, and then she came over. She went under this lady's legs. She licked a few people's hats and different things. This is communication, okay? This is quantum entanglement. And iguanas embody the intelligence of intuition. They're attuned to ancient energies. They also shed. You can see her tail is in a strange transformation. And we worked with Kukulkan, the serpent god here, who shows you how to shed your old identity, encourages you to shed who you thought you were, because you're perfectly formed already within, and rise back to your higher self. And somebody walked by and said, oh, they shed. And it was like a ripple just went through us. Then she went into the center of our circle. She circled us. She brought her baby up to see us. It was all quite profound. We went into different sacred cenotes. This is our mermaid cenote. This is after our jaguar ceremony. And here's the jaguar skull I was gifted with. So if you join me on Sunday, I'm going to share what happened specifically with the third eye activations and the jaguar. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm completely opened up, completely different. So this is where you can find out more and contact me and come and play. We also have third eye opening private sessions available right now for a limited time. They're not available except for when Spirit tells me. And when I got back after my third eye awakenings, it's been quite intense. My head's felt enormous. I've had deep, deep, intense energies behind the third eye and days of having to lay or sleep. Integrating the upgrade, and then they asked me to offer these sessions to you. So if you do one of these sessions with me, you'll get a download of whatever I've received and am still processing, and an upgrade of your own, and get a chance to experience my new gifts. This is my Black Star Jaguar guide that has been working with me for many years now, Mayan, and has asked to come forward. And we're going to begin doing some weekly channelings, jaguar, dolphin, and other animal spirit realms. And so now let's just take a look at April. So we're leaving the equinox portal, and it's been a place where you walked between the worlds. You were given a chance to see and release and to renew in either side, light, dark, above, below, behind. We all had a lot of releasing and a lot of understanding of our new powers, new visions, new ability to see visions, to sense and feel colors, to tune into energies. So now in April, we're going to have a really epic month, and it's going to keep going. We are leaving having a period of forward movement with no retrograde. So realize you're shifting gears, okay? You're not on the Autobahn anymore. So one of our big themes, we'll talk a little bit more in a second, is Pluto in Aquarius. And it's going in and out of Capricorn like a dance. Saturn in Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune. The eclipse season starts on April 19th. However, you're going to be feeling it already. And eclipses are massive change, okay? Massive new direction, new chapter, 180 degrees. It affects everybody differently, but it affects governments, it affects countries, it affects, land, water, you, me, depending on your chart. Okay, now a new moon solar eclipse means the moon is eclipsing the sun. That's your emotions eclipsing yourself. Self-ego, but also self-divine, and you are going to be cut off from that, and it gives you an opportunity to feel your emotions, perhaps even be overwhelmed by your emotions, however, unplugged from your identity. So it's very powerful energies that you can do. And of course, we'll do more, and we'll have solar eclipse and lunar eclipse meditations and everything to help you as we move through it. Then you'll be in a portal between the two, and till the Scorpio lunar eclipse on May 5th. And the lunar eclipse involves the Earth and the moon, and that's two different energies being cut off and separated. But these are opportunities. Everything is opportunity, right? So take a look real quick while I have a sip here on what comes up this month. We've got Mercury is going to go in a shadow phase. It's going to start to slow down. It's changing signs from Aries, very fiery, cardinal, starting things fast forward, confident, head first, to calm, grounded Taurus. Okay, so that's your Mercury is your communication, and it's communication, but it's really relevant in terms of higher communication. Where is your intuition coming from? Where are your synchronicities coming from? Where are you noticing signs and symbols? Where are you allowing yourself to be led, guided, or communicated with by all the realms that are relevant, and not overwhelmed by everything, okay? We have a lot of sun action this month. We've got sun shining right on Chiron, the wounded healer. So you're going to have an opportunity coming up this week to have a big, bright, shiny light on yourself in terms of healing. It might be highlighting wounds. It might be highlighting that you've healed those wounds, that you don't need those wounds anymore, that you aren't that wounded person, that perhaps you've become the healer, or it's time for you to embody the healer. And I think that's the truth, because the sun is you, the self, saying, I am wounded, but I am healed. And I found my healing within my wounds, and I understand the bigger cycle, and therefore I hold healing energy for myself as I move forward. We're going to do a show on the Libra full moon. It's going to be a beautiful full moon, full of balanced thoughts and social, loving caringness. The sun is then again going to be shining on Jupiter, and Jupiter expands things. And Jupiter is going to be in the sign of Aries, again, that fast forward, fiery sign, ruled by Mars, action, 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 or irritation and aggression. So what is the sun, the self, wanting to expand, that's going to give you fast forward movement? Okay, you're going to feel that energy. It's going to happen. Why not use the energies that are coming up in a productive way by knowing what's going to happen and say, okay, I'm going to use that energy for this thought, this transformation, this focus, these actions. Now, the 19th and 20th is the new moon solar eclipse, like we talked about. And then right there on top of it, the sun again is squaring Pluto. Pluto, death, rebirth, okay, and endings, beginnings. And when something is squaring something, it's blocking it. And it blocks it in a pretty big way. It's not like the road is blocked, go around the block, go a different direction and you'll get there. It's like, no, the whole bridge burned out. You can't get there at all. And it forces you to think differently. It forces you to take action, to turn around, to look for different ways. So if yourself is saying it's time for you to turn around, stop carrying this old stuff, let it die. Start looking for a new place to be reborn. And as you enter Taurus, that's Venus, love, desires, comfort, earthly possessions. So that's also going to be the end of your lack and allowing yourself to not have abundance. Okay, the 21st, Mercury is going to go into retrograde, and again with that Taurus energy, Venus, and then the 24th is the sun is now looking at your destiny path, your north node. Now the sun is shining on that. So these are major changes that are coming. We're in a cosmic upheaval energy. As we exit the equinox portal, we begin to walk into a Pluto Aquarius transition. Eclipses are coming. It is time for you to get clarity on your burgeoning powers, your soul path. What I'm seeing is become it, don't try to believe it. Stop wasting your time with old stuff. Oh, I gotta take a sip here, excuse me. Wow. Excuse me. Wow. My throat is just, woo, well, I've just talked for a whole hour before this, doing this show already. You can no longer ignore your mission, and it's time to acknowledge the changes your heart is ready for, because it's going to try to go for them. Everything we've been through up to now, and we've come through this equinox portal, you may not even remember some of the things that were going on before. Good, because you're ripe for renewal and release. And all of that theme at my equinox retreat was so profound to support what I'm calling our crystallization. Crystallization is the process of manifesting something into form. And we are turning from a certain kind of density being, you can call it carbon, but it's not really correct, to a crystalline being, which has a higher vibration and a frequency that can channel, transform, transmute different kinds of light, therefore different vibrations. Different colors in the full color spectrum have different vibrations. So you become a more powerful healer, a more powerful manifester, because you have more ability to receive high-speed internet, so to speak. Now, we have to remember that everything is burning down and then being rebuilt. There's more polarity, more people arguing, more people setting rules against each other. We're We need to tune back into that Phoenix energy. We are almost daily burning down something old, becoming somebody new in this moment. This class, the meditation we're going to do next, they are going to be different person. So let's look at what's happening here. This is, we'll talk more about this as we do these shifts, but we're already in Pluto in Aquarius. This hasn't happened since 1777. So when a sign, when things change like this, a planet changes sign, and it doesn't do it very often, it's a huge shift, and it's something that's been going on for so long. Nobody alive on the planet right now in their current life body has ever had a Pluto in Aquarius experience. But it's going to dance in and out. So it's in now till June 11th, then it's going to go out again until January 20th of 2024. It'll stay there till September 1st, then it goes back out till November 19th, and then it stays till March of 2043. So Aquarius energies, we're going to look at what that means versus going back into hard work, routines, climbing the hill, finding steadiness on rocky cliffs, on rocky mountains. All right, that's what we've been doing. Death and rebirth, feeling like we're climbing. Is it ever going to be over? Are we ever going to reach the peak? And Aquarius is a peak that we are globally entering. So when we look at what was going on when Pluto was in Aquarius before, we had the American Revolution, the French Revolution. So that's a theme that you want to think about, because we're having this argument on the planet in every theme and every topic. You're wrong, I'm right. Super extremist mentalities and attitudes, and even medieval and archaic things are coming back up. So when you think of Aquarius wanting independence, Aquarius being the expression of the spiritual independent self, it's also the other side of the coin. Everything is the same. It's different in degrees. So that means it's also the strict rules, the desire to squash independence. So think about this. Will you want your independence from sources of authority? Are you already feeling that? I want independence from outside authority, to who I've given my authority to, whether it's only mentally, emotionally, or it's actual. Pluto now is saying, okay, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to let that die and be reborn as something new? Or are you going to drag that and stay in the underworld? Because as the god of the underworld, we're having massive transformation. And as everything has those two sides of the coin, remember, Aquarius represents freedom, independence, and then lockdowns and dictatorship. We're already seeing this. And the desire to control will be fighting the desire to be free. That's happening in our culture. That's happening on topics around the world. That's happening within you. The desire to control, fighting the desire to be free. So transforming our world is what Pluto is doing now in the Aquarius energies, which means you're going to see people using it on both extremes. And as an awakening intuitive, you need to find your independence, your spiritual powers. You are required to separate from the mass mindsets and find your own inner authority and path. There is no other path. There's no other solution. There's no other answer to what is my purpose, okay? It is get your intuition going, get your inner authority aligned, get out of the stream of what everybody else has told you. You've got to decondition, you've got to get unhooked, you have to allow the communication to come in authentically, and you have to be ready and willing to embody who you were designed to be. That's who you're becoming. And you don't know what it is, so you can't prepare for it. So you have to let go of the logical way that you were told you manifest things. So now Mercury as our communication, especially to our higher selves, our guides, our sources of support and guardianship and angelic realms and everything, that's going to slow down. We're going to have a shadow phase as it moves towards its retrograde. It's also going from fiery, headstrong Aries into Taurus, and that's in a few days. Taurus is grounded, right? It's related to earthly manifestations. So you're going to find communication and guidance that's going to help you with foundation for growth, manifesting things, homes, comfort, wealth, jobs, clients. That's a theme that's happening. Creativity is also a theme that's happening because action and energy are going to feel a little more heavy because Mars is in Cancer now. And Cancer is an emotional sign. It's a moon sign. It's overwhelmed with emotion and nostalgia. And it's also related to home. So Mars being something that wants action, and Cancer is generally not big on taking big decisions and action. It gets overwhelmed with that emotion. So watch for that in you or others and unplug from it and say, how can I use that desire instead of feeling irritated or a desire to fight with my family or my traditions or my home life, to feel unsafe or to desire to lock down and control more, to feel safe or feel protected. That desire for more comfort may trigger anxiety, so trust your intuition and slide under the emotional tidal waves, okay? Be careful also not to feel like I'm just gonna jump and take action too soon or feel the need to defend yourself, because that is stepping into somebody else's reality. You've got to get back into your center, take a breath, give yourself time to assess what you're feeling. Don't react. Don't believe that your spirit is saying, do it right now, just do it, do it. Your spirit will not be upset if you take a few breaths, a few minutes, a few hours, a day or so to really tune into what's going on, because you are being triggered with all of these energies. And if you really want to align with what's optimal for your highest good, you must always take a breath and not react. Now, Aquarius, again, big energies, lots of Aquarian energies. Let's take a look deeper what it means. All right, excuse me. So Aquarius has two planets that rule it. It's often, this is the way it is. The traditional one, before they understood Uranus, is Saturn. And Saturn is that structure, right? It's the structure typically that's strict, that says no, do it again, that judges, sets boundaries and limits, makes us feel restricted, keeps testing us. However, the other side of that coin is it makes you an expert. It wants to make sure you're prepared, you're ready, you're at your best. It's also ruled by, and to me much more relevant, related to Uranus, the planet of sudden change, of innovation, of awakening, of desire for innovation, expanded technology, which is great because Aquarius is that too, non-traditional thinking. It has to change. It doesn't have a choice but to change, okay? So think about that. And the sign of innovation, independence, individuality within oneness and progress, also Aquarius having that other side of the opposite of all of those things, okay? So that's where we are right now, and we're going to go into our multidimensional meditation and discuss, who am I now? Who am I now? And the relevance of that is, who am I now, meaning who have I becoming? Because we used to ask, who am I as a spiritual path? And you asked, who am I for 6 months to a year, daily, multiple times a day. You sat with a tree and you asked, who am I? And you started to receive more intuitive communication from all different perspectives in life. So the reason that I love spiritual communication, spirit guides, interdimensional, interspecies communication, and all forms of communication on subtle realms is because we have a very limited perspective, and as humans, and then within each of us, we have a unique unicorn perspective or a Capricorn perspective. And so the reality is that we have an opportunity to embody who we are in a way we've never done before. And when we do that, we can't please other people. We can't live our life for other people. We can't have our head stuck out into everybody else's business. We can't be attached to needing things to be a certain way for our comfort or our needs. So the cool thing is who are you becoming is already encoded within you. You're no different than a nut or a seed. You have already the blueprint inside of you of who you designed yourself to be. Your soul is a beautifully designed thing, and you are a part of your soul, and you're one of the pieces of your soul. But in my opinion, you're the pinnacle of your soul. You are the pinnacle lifetime because you're here at a pinnacle tipping point that is going to change everything for everybody, every life in your soul, every pain or karmic contract or soul contract or fear or belief or failure or block or perceived limit that you have or you embody, conscious or subconscious. It's all going to change. And it's time for you to become a conscious creator, you to intentionally develop your intuition, your senses open to your way of communicating. Nobody else can communicate the way you do. Nobody else can receive. And you are on your path where you are. Maybe you're just, boom, you opened up and you've got iguanas talking to you. One lady that came on the retreat is fairly new on her awakening path, and she started having visions she'd never had before. She saw things, felt things, communicated with an iguana, started realizing that she could authentically receive communication from another being. And so these are things that are waking up in you. They're not things you have to achieve. Okay, so who are you becoming now? Who are you designed to be? And who you were is simply something to acknowledge and say thank you and release. I'll see you on the multidimensional meditation. I hope I see you in a third eye awakening, and I really hope I see you on the next retreat in July or in December. Our Dolphin Healing Mayan Magic retreats are incredible, transformational, deep awakenings of your soul purpose and your soul powers. So I will see you in a moment. Namaste. And don't forget, next week, Sunday, I have the Jaguar call, and should be here on the YouTube channel. You can see I'm going to share about the Jaguar awakening of the third eye. And I had that experience. It downloaded into my bones, into my skull, awakened an entirely new level of wiring. I'm not sure, it's not the right word, but it's like, it's hard to describe. And that's why I was asked to do the third eye openings again for you. And those sessions are available for, I don't know, until they tell me no. They're saying for a couple of weeks. So, and then really think about, what is it that you are ready and willing to become? And could you ponder it? Could you expand yourself and give yourself permission to imagine something bigger, different, more amazing? Yay! Oh, I'm now live on both pages. Great. Yeah, it's something weird's going on. Oh, it was show visible. Oh my gosh. Well, there we go. Now we'll go do the meditation. Thank you.